Hello everyone, welcome to the world of DePin, where we try to explore what the buzz is all about and what's been developing in this space. Is this another hype, or it can actually bring billion users in the Web3 space? Join me as I unlock these questions with the pioneers from the Web3 space. Let's explore the world of DePin together.
My name is Reggie. I'm the founder and CEO of Hydro Online. What happens if they come like, hey, sorry, we don't like you growing so much and taking our market share, we're shutting you down?
It consists of people who are like crypto bros, okay? Unless and until you talk everything crypto, everybody's gonna hate me for this, but yeah.
You have the same, let's say 80% of the same themes coming over and over, and just some marketing guru calls it something else every new cycle. And DePin is a good example of this.
Don't get that kind of reception that any other, say a meme coin or basic NFT project get as compared to the real world project in this space. How do you take care of those challenges? Hello everyone, welcome to the world of DePin, where we explore exciting developments happening in the DePin space. This is our first episode and we have founder of Hydro Online with us, Reggie. Reggie, thank you so much for being our first guest. Can you please introduce yourself to our guest today?
For sure. Thank you for having me on. It's an absolute honor and pleasure. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder and CEO of Hydro Online, founding partner of Gaff Capital Partners, and co-founder of Crypto Fight Night.
Reggie, can you also tell us about the story of Hydro Online? Like, everybody has their story. Like, I've been talking about the story of building Drife for a very long time, and every time I speak about it, I still feel the same. So what's your story of building Hydro Online?
It's, like a lot of people don't know this, but it's about 7 years. I've been trying to solve this problem. So how it actually originally started was back in 2018, after I was working for a marketing company called Publicist Group. Mm-hmm. And after working in corporate life and stuff like that, someone hired me to be a consultant to help them monetize their website without having to use ads. And that's what really gave birth to the first version of Hydro, which was Gather back then. It essentially was trying to provide publishers, website owners, another way to monetize their content without having to rely on ads. And we initially tried to do this with using a layer 1 blockchain. How we did this is that we built a non-memory hard blockchain where all the hashing was being done by web visitors. So you'd go to, let's say, drife.com. If you had our first version installed, a web visitor's computer, CPU, would be used to secure the blockchain. In return, the publisher or you as Drife would be getting, earning those tokens, i.e. revenue. Over the, few years, we noticed with the proof of work type of concept, there's a lot of stigma associated to it because of mining, specifically that mining is killing the world and burning the rainforest. And I know all this stupid shit that reporters and other people would honestly say. So we moved away from the proof of work model which was Gather previously, to what Hydro is online. So we're still solving for the same problem, but we use proof of stake now. And how we do this is we operate a freemium-based business model where website publishers earn a small amount. They're capped on their earnings. We push them to a paid version, which is between $500 to $1,500. That half of that is used to buy and stake our token. The other half is collected all together and used to fractionalize multiple validators on different L1 networks. Right now, as yourself is also building on Sui, we're fractionalizing validators on Sui. Later on, it'll be Near, AVAX, Solana, XYZ. And that's what Hydro really is at the core.
Interesting. How easy it is for an average user to start using Hydro? And is it already live? If I want to be part of the ecosystem, can I do that?
Yes, ma'am, you can right now. You can go to hydro.online. You can sign up. It takes less than a minute, maybe about 30 seconds to integrate. We have about 11,000 users and we've been acquired for 6 weeks.
Wow. And is it only for crypto users? So if I know crypto space, that I can do it, or any average user who might not be even aware of how this space works, can they also become part of this?
Sure. So the way we've positioned Hydro, right? Like one of the biggest things with Web3 and crypto products is that majority of the UI and UX is really geared or targeted towards your degenerate crypto audience, right? So how we built Hydro from a branding perspective and user interaction and user experience perspective is that it's a SaaS product that uses blockchain as a technology, right? So if you, as an unknowing user who's never actually interacted with cryptocurrency or interacted with blockchain, you would not actually know that crypto was actually involved in any format unless you wanted to understand and dig further. You could come and monetize your website and you'd get money in your bank account. But if you wanted to explore the opportunities and understand, you could.
Interesting. Now, you spoke about Sui. We both are building on Sui. So how has been your experience building on Sui as an ecosystem? I am such a big fan of Sui myself, ever since we started working on Sui as a layer one. But how has been your experience building on Sui, and why did you guys even went ahead to build on Sui?
Sure, I'll take two parts, right? Sui is a newer layer one compared to other blockchains, and moreover, it's non-EVM, right? It is Move at the end of the day, and Sui Move. So its own framework, etc. So with any new technology that comes out, there's always going to be some barriers that exist, some adaptation that's required. But the support we've gotten from the Sui team and everything, it's been fantastic. And the second question, why Sui? So it was more about, when we were deciding because Gather, the previous version of Hydro, was its own layer one, right? And I understood at that point that whichever layer one we choose to build on, we need support from the foundation. We need support from the top down, not getting caught with middle managers and red tape. So we spoke to a few foundations and we found Sui was the most responsive. But on top of that, one of the most, the largest motivators for us is that Sui, as a new, let's call it large cap, had not had its run up in terms of price action, right? So it gives us an opportunity, or any project really on Sui that is acquiring users and doing well, to really blow up within the ecosystem. So we took a directional bet on building on Sui.
Interesting. I guess they're very supportive. For us also, ever since we started working with them, they're really supportive of helping you build what you want to build, and not just force you to build everything, put everything on Sui ecosystem. So that's really great about them as compared to other chains that I'm aware of. Now let's talk about DePin. That's what the whole idea is about this podcast. And recently I saw there was one blog post by you guys about integrating into DePin. Can you explain more why DePin mattered to you as your own product?
Sure. So let's start with what is DePin, right? And I'm gonna probably walk on some eggshells with what I'm about to say. And this is more to do with the cryptocurrency industry we're in, right? DePin is essentially just decentralized physical infrastructure, right? I did not know what the hell DePin meant until 3 months ago, because for me it was always decentralized cloud or whatever the hell. And then when someone came and was like, "Hey, Reg, you should start using DePin," I'm like, "What the hell is DePin?" They're like, "Decentralized physical infrastructure." I'm like, "That just sounds like decentralized cloud." Like, it is. I'm like, wow, okay. So why is it important to Hydro and what we're doing? Basically, a core facet of what we've been doing for a long time, it revolves around nodes, mass nodes, and validators, which is at the core, in essence, is compute power and storage, which is what decentralized physical infrastructure is. This is a little bit of a rant I'll mention, but every cycle, from 2017 and earlier, you have the same, let's say 80% of the same themes coming over and over, and just some marketing guru calls it something else every new cycle. And DePin is a good example of this.
Exactly. So, because this space, specifically Web3 space, is all about hype. Do you think DePin is just another hype? And are you guys also talking about DePin just to ride the hype, or do you really think there's substance to it?
I think there's massive substance to it from multiple perspectives, because let's take a couple steps back. Why was Bitcoin created? Permissionless hard money, right? But it runs on ASICs right now, which essentially is, again, compute and storage. So if you have, let's be honest, majority of the Web3 crypto startups right now, and even the mainlines, are all using AWS, GCE, Alibaba or something, all centralized cloud providers. What happens if they come "Hey, sorry, we don't like you growing so much and taking our market share, we're shutting you down"? This is why decentralized cloud and storage is important and will be important. Maybe we're not at a stage where it's mature enough to offer the same type of services as AWS offers. I mean, I'm sure as any, as you would know, if you're using AWS, one of the largest costs is cloud at the end of the day. It's not cheap, right? I mean, we got a grant from AWS, and still we ate that in 2 months, to be fair. It is going to be, it is important. It's going to continue to be important. I mean, not just from a crypto perspective, but just from a freedom of speech perspective, right? You have something called bulletproof hosting. You have underground bunkers in Germany and other places where you have these servers where they can't be stopped, where they can't be turned off, right? It is important for a freedom of speech perspective.
True. So talking about like this space, what is your biggest challenge? Because I have seen this myself, like although there's so much buzz about the DePin space, like still because this space consists of people who are like crypto bros, okay? Unless and until you talk everything crypto, everybody's gonna hate me for this, but yeah. Unless and until, like I face this so many times that, you know, we talk about Drife as a decentralized ride-hailing platform. There's like, okay, what is crypto there? Like, what are you guys doing about crypto? It's like, no, we don't have any crypto integration yet. And that's like, then you're not Web3. How do you guys look at different challenges that you might be facing in your own space about like, you know, having this, although like we are building for solving for real world problem, but unless and until you have everything absolutely about crypto in your app, you don't get that kind of reception that any other, say, a meme coin or basic NFT project get as compared to the real world project in this space. How do you take care of those challenges?
I think taking care of those challenges and then what the reality is, right? See, taking care of the challenges, we're building businesses at the end. They solve a real world problem. But a big part of that, especially within the crypto echo chambers that exist, is that how sexy are these startups compared to the narratives that are sexy. So as you said rightly, meme coins, AI, DePin, RWA was one of the hot narratives as well, right? So that's what retail and people chase after. So if you don't really fit nicely into one of these categories, you either got to carve out your own category, so people are like, oh, they're a hot crypto startup, or you just, you know, put your finger up to these people like, okay, you don't like us, screw you, just watch.
True. That's true. Now, there's this thing that we've been speaking about very long, about billion users in the Web3 space. We have not seen billion users yet. But do you think we can get there, like the Web3 space can actually reach to billion users? And if yes, how do you see you and Hydro contributing to this shift?
For sure. I think it'll definitely happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And just from a perspective of ownership, freedom, the core facets of crypto, and at least what Bitcoin was founded on, right? These pillars will translate into people who value their privacy, value their freedom. There will be solutions that help preserve these things as we go forward. And that's going to bring in more people. As more people become aware of how important these fundamental rights are, more people will adopt such solutions. So it's a matter of time, not if. How does Hydro help get to that mark? So at the core, we're not censorship. We don't censor content, right? While there's certain things we cannot allow, for example, you know, adult child pornography, you know, terrorism stuff like that. We can't monetize that stuff, right? Because we're going to get in trouble at the end of the day.
Correct.
We're not a non-team that's, you know, no one knows where the founders are or the teams are. No, we're all doxxed at the end of the day. Everyone knows who we are. So we have to abide by a certain amount of laws and regulations. Albeit that I'd, you know, like to break most of these rules, to be fair. But hey, I don't want to end up in jail with Sam or something. You know, no thanks. So with that being said, we're not like big tech, right? Our philosophy doesn't follow that. We do not track people. We do not invade your privacy. So that helps with adopting users who value these rights and freedoms.
Interesting. Now I'm gonna, you know, touch a bit of personal life because we belong to this industry that is running at, I don't know, like 100x speed. Every day something changes. Today we are working on something, building something. Tomorrow something else comes. We all are catching up to that. And sometimes I ask myself, like, and I see a lot of people like switching from what they were building yesterday to what they're building. Very few people are still doing the same thing. And those are the projects that I see are like more real world solving projects that stayed the way they wanted to. No matter what came, what went, they kept doing what they wanted to achieve. And I feel the same for you as well. how do you manage stress in this fast-paced crypto space? And I know like nobody actually talk about this in the crypto space. Everybody's like, yeah, go ahead, do this, do that. We work 24/7. We all speak about this, but we all get burned out. And I know nobody speaks about this in the crypto space. So I want to have that conversation. How do you deal with that? How do you manage things in your personal life?
Sure, I'll talk about short-term and long-term burnout, right? And I mean, the stress is there. If you look very closely right here, you can see some gray hair.
I have so many gray hairs myself.
There you go, right? For me, the baldness and gray hair, it's crypto. You know, they say 1 year in crypto is like 10 years in real life at the end of the day.
True.
So two ways, right? One is I thoroughly enjoy camping, going to Oman or the wilderness, really turning off from technology for 48 hours, 24 hours, as much as I can. You know, fishing, stuff like that. It sounds like old man boring stuff, but honestly, it is really, really refreshing. Go swim in the ocean with the fish and stuff. That's one thing. And if I'm hitting a very hard incoming burnout, which everyone knows the signs, you know, you're getting a little more demotivated and stuff. You're getting more tired and crap like that. Travel to somewhere I've never been before for not long, maybe 3-4 days. Again, try to stay offline and just be in nature as much as possible. As you go more into this, you know, pervasive technology of crypto, blockchain, etc. For me, what I like personally is trying to get away from all these screens and, you know, all this crap as much as I can. I don't know why, but yeah. What about yourself? Hello?
Not sure if you can hear me. Can you please confirm if you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Reggie?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yeah. Sorry, I just lost you in middle. But there's another question that I have for you. Like, you know, because we are so much submerged into this world of crypto, like people around us who are not part of crypto, they sometimes don't even understand what you're doing, why you are doing. Like specifically with me, people back in my hometown think that I have a taxi company, and I just let people believe that because it's too difficult to explain what you're doing. And they're like, okay, you left a very good job and now what you do? I was like, yeah, I bought few taxis, now I work as a taxi driver. And they're like, fine. And they're like, obviously, I'm very disappointed, but I stopped doing that, putting that effort to explain people what you're doing, how it is changing the world. How do you deal with those questions? Do you get to hear a lot of time, like, what are you working on and what is your response?
I mean, the relevancy of this question is back in 2018 when I first started, right? Because back then it was still 2018. It's not like now where Bitcoin, people actually have heard of Bitcoin at least, you know?
Correct.
Back then they're like, oh, Bitcoin's a scam. It's used by criminals and this and that. And, you know, why aren't you getting a job and this and all this crap? I'm like, you know what? Just sit and watch. I'll come, you know, we'll talk again in 6, 7, 8 months. And when Gather launched, we did fantastic. You know, I touched a $500 million market cap in 2020 and lots of users, all that. And then, you know, when Bitcoin is touching 20K, he's like, hey, Reggie, what do I buy? You know, Bitcoin's going through the moon. I'm like, you're too late to buy. Don't buy anything right now. You know, just wait. And this time around in 2024, 2023, I really don't get those questions anymore. Maybe because, I don't know, I've been around a little bit longer, or I have no idea what it is. But the last time I probably got this question, or let's call it criticism, or if I'm going to succeed, you know, those kind of things. It's, I don't know. I actually cannot remember when someone has asked me, like, why the hell don't you quit and get a job type of thing. Like, usually that's, that's actually family who asks that. Now my family doesn't ask me shit.
Do a real business. Like, you know, is this even a business? You guys don't go to office?
Yeah. That's usually from the family, but now my family don't ask me shit, so it's cool.
Interesting. They gave up on you.
They gave up on me, and I just proved them wrong. That's the best way. All the naysayers, all the haters, just prove them wrong. Exactly. Tell them just watch and wait.
Interesting. So yeah, last question for today. What's up? What's interesting happening at Hydro, and what are the new things that you guys are working on, and what is that we should be excited about to see in near future?
Couple things. I think from a retail perspective, what'll be exciting for people is the airdrop program we have coming out. It involves being able to earn Hydro tokens by doing simple tasks. So social sharing as an example, talking about Hydro, running threads, stuff like that. That's fairly interesting. Gives the opportunity for people to participate. Long term, I'm very excited about the interoperability roadmap. So because we fractionalize validators at the back end, so when we have multiple layers, so Solana, Near, Sui, Berachain, right? And we're running physical validators on all these networks, and we have 50,000 or 100,000 users, and all these end users of these websites, these people can come and then swap into these networks very seamlessly using our interface, right? And the thing is, these are Web 2 users who have rarely touched crypto or never have. So it's a very interesting opportunity we have there.
Interesting. Do you also look into the different geography that your users are coming from? Like, which is where are most of your user based out of?
Sure, Europe. I would say Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia. It's funny enough, we're actually getting some hits out of New York and East Coast right now. Oh, you're frozen.
Yep, I guess we're back.
Oh,
yeah. Cool. I just lost you on the last bit, like about the users. Like you was speaking about something funny.
Okay. So, some of our users are coming from Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, and we're seeing a lot actually coming from New York and East Coast states, interestingly enough.
Nice. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of my first podcast. I hope I did a decent job. But how was your experience with, being with me for this first podcast? And what do you want to tell people about who are interested in this deep space? Like, what do you think the future holds for this space?
I think you did fantastic on the podcast for your first one. Good job. Hats off. And to the audience, I think if you are interested in DePin, if you're interested in decentralized cloud, run a node. There's nothing better. Find a find a new chain. There's generally two ways you do it. And back in 2018, 2017, they used to call spec mining when POS didn't exist, right? You would find a new coin, you would mine a lot of the supply in hopes that the price would go up. The same thing applies, but in POS systems, right? Find a new chain that you think that's one of the ways you find a new chain so you have higher upside. Run a node on it, collect the tokens, and then see how it does. Or you could take the safer way and run a node on more established networks such as Solana, such as Ethereum, etc. Right? So there's a lot you can do. And then, also be comfortable in the fact that knowing that you're running a validator, you're running a node, you're helping contribute to the security of that network and keeping these blockchains, which a lot of them are permissionless, up, right? And help preserving our free speech and rights.
Thank you so much, Reggie, for sharing your insight and experience with us. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning into the world of DePin. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and have an understanding that DePin is not just another buzzword. See you in the next episode. Till then, keep exploring the world of DePin.